Said his house ain't a home and he's losing sleep. Wife cold as steel, vibe off track. Ask me how the hell to get his edge back.
What's going on, guys? I thought I would kick this off and get started, but I didn't think that I was going to have a sponsor video today. I was like, oh, no one actually, signed up for one. I was like, usually they come in over the weekend most of the time, and I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. This works out really good. But yeah, this time I didn't have one. I was like, oh, I guess I get the evening off. Oh well, but no. First thing this morning, there was one in my inbox. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm working today. All right, cool. So my man sent me in this email. The subject line is, I see beautiful women, but freeze every time. He says, hey, Paul, I need your help with something that's been holding me back for years. I got serious approach anxiety. I'll see a beautiful woman in public, at the gym, grocery store, wherever, and my brain immediately starts talking me out of going up to her. And this is a really common problem for a lot of guys. Approach anxiety is a big problem for a lot of guys. And you'll hear women online going, why don't guys approach anymore? And it's like, it's not that approach anxiety is anything new. Men have always had to deal with approach anxiety. It's just that we live in a completely different era now, an era of the Me Too movement, and women would prefer bears and, all this kind of nonsense, right? Well, men believe this stuff. They believe the nonsense, the feminist propaganda. And so that just further heightens that anxiety. And they're like, I better not talk to her, right? And then women are like, well, I don't get it. Why is no guy talking to me? It's because your strategy isn't working, ladies. Because here's the thing with that strategy, right? The Me Too movement, the women prefer bears, don't talk to us at the gym, kind of messaging that these women put out. That is not meant for guys they like. Okay, that's for guys they don't like. Now, here's the thing. How do you know if you're the kind of guy that they like or not? By being confident and walking up and talking to them. That's how you know, okay? And then if they reject you, maybe they're just an epic bitch. I don't know. That's probably going to get me demonetized. Guys, send super chats, would you? Anyway, this is why it's important to have a 3-second rule. If you're going to go up and go out and approach women in public, you have to give yourself a 3-second rule. What's a 3-second rule? A 3-second rule is where if you see a girl you want to talk to, you start walking towards her to go talk to her within 3 seconds or less. As soon as you notice her and you have the inkling to go talk to her, you have 3 seconds to walk your ass over there and start talking. Otherwise, you're going to get all up in your head about it. You're going to start getting analysis paralysis and you're going to talk yourself out of it. Okay, so give yourself a 3-second rule. If you see a girl, you have 3 seconds to go talk to her. Okay, well, I don't know what to say. Just say something. Okay, that's the thing. We're going to get into it, right? But you don't have to know, you don't have to have the perfect pickup line when you talk to girls. Because guess what? Girls are just people. They're just people, and you talk to them like you would talk to any other person. Okay, like don't make this complicated. And a big thing is, a lot of you guys look at hot women one way and you look at ugly women a different way. If you saw a fat, ugly chick that you had no sexual interest in across the room, and someone dared you to walk up and talk to her, you would have no problem with it because you don't care. You would have no attachment to outcome with that, right? So you would just walk up and say something, right? We want to treat the fat, ugly girls the same way we treat the hot girls, okay? We want to treat the hot girls the same way we treat the fat, ugly girls. We treat all women the same, okay? Stop putting women on pedestals just because they're beautiful, right? Just you treat the hot ones like you would treat the ugly ones, okay? But Paul, I'd be somewhat mean to ugly ones. So, well, do that to the pretty ones too. And they'll go, I don't understand why this guy's so mean to me. Like all these other guys are putting me on pedestals, but this guy, he's kind of rude to me. I kind of dig it. That's what, there's a reason why negs work and stuff like that. Okay. Well, that's for another video. He says, I'll tell myself she's probably taken. she's not in the mood to talk, or she'll think I'm weird. By the time I finish overthinking it, she's already walked away. I always promise myself I'll talk to the next one, but the same thing happens every time. Let me know, guys, if this sounds like you at all. Okay, just be honest with me, or just maybe smash that like button if you've been there before and you don't really want to put your name out there. But let me know if this was you in the past or something and you got over it. Like, let me know what you did to get over it. Drop it in the chat, would you? So here's the thing. The guy says, I think she's probably taken. Here's an easy way to tell. Just walk up and if you look at her left hand, okay? If she doesn't have a ring on it, fucking go for it. All right? Just go for it. She's probably not taken. Even if she has a boyfriend, a lot of women are in relationships they're not too happy to be in, and they're just waiting for the right guy to steal them away. It's their hypergamous nature. Okay? And this is one of those things where you'll never really know. So don't worry about it. Just walk up, and if she's not that into her boyfriend, she's not going to mention her boyfriend in the conversation. Okay? Don't worry about it. If she is taken, she will subtly mention her boyfriend in while you're communicating, and that's where when you know to eject. Okay? No big deal. No big deal. Right? But never ask a woman if she's single. Okay? Women are never single, really. Okay? They're always banging someone. So be the reason they're going to trade up. Be the reason. But Paul, I don't want to be a homewrecker. That's not on you, bro. That's not on you. That's on her. All right? That's her making a decision that impacts the other people in her life. That's not on you. And you will never really know. You'll never really know. As far as a girl being in the mood to talk or thinking that you're weird, women are always in the mood to talk, brother. Like, have you ever been around women? They won't shut the fuck up. Okay, women are always in the mood to talk. It's funny. This actually is very similar. I had a client call yesterday, and one of the things my man wanted to talk about in that client call was cold approach, and he was saying how even when he's at a bar and a woman comes in, and he lives in a target rich area. Okay, so there's lots of single women in a lot of different places, unlike out here in the cow pasture, right? But he would go to a bar and see a woman walk in by herself, and then actually go, I don't know if she wants someone to talk to her or not, right? People don't go out in public alone hoping to be alone. You know what I mean? Like, people go out in public to be around other people. Okay, so just assume she's there for the same reason you're there, okay, which is to meet other people. Okay. And then here's the thing about them thinking you're weird, right? They will only think you're weird if you're not confident in your approach. If you are hesitant, if you are sort of like hands in your pockets and just not making eye contact and looking all around, that comes across as creepy. Okay. If you don't walk up and then like immediately get sexual right away, they won't think you're creepy. Okay. Right? It's all in how you approach. If you approach them like they are a human being, they're probably not going to get creeped out. Okay. And if they are like, if they lose their shit about it because there's something wrong with them and they're having a bad day, that's not on you. Okay. Just be like, oh, okay, I didn't know you were such an epic bitch. All right. Have a nice evening. Right. Don't make it personal. Right. But that's the hardest part, is being confident when you're not truly confident. Okay. Cause you're not confident yet. And if you were, you wouldn't be sending me an email for a sponsored video. Right. Okay. So this is a big reason why you need to have that 3-second rule, is because you're over analyzing all this stuff. And what will build confidence is just going for it. Just going for it enough times. We'll get into that here in a second too. Okay. He says, I hate the dating apps. They make me feel like a number in a lineup, and I'm not even sure the women I match with are real half the time. So if I can't start walking up and talking to women in person, I feel like I'll be stuck alone forever. I talk about this all the time. Okay. There's a method to the madness on dating apps. Dating apps don't suck. It's just that men are notoriously bad at using dating apps. Okay. And dating apps comes down to four things. It comes down to your pictures. It comes down to your bio. It comes down to how you open, and it comes down to how you close. Okay. I talk about it in my dating course. If you guys go to dates.comeonmanpod.com, I break that all down in there. I talk about spotting fake accounts in there. I talk about time wasters and catfish and how you can avoid them and like things to look out for, so you know what's what, so you're not swiping on them in the first place. But I get it too, right? Because on dating apps, you're served what's available. Right. This is what's available to you in the area. It's not necessarily the women you want, though. Right. Let me ask you this. Have you tried using Facebook or Instagram to meet women? And I'm not talking about Facebook dating. I'm talking about Facebook, the app, or Instagram, the app. Right. Because there's a virtual cold approach method that I teach in that dating course, too, that I learned from my good friend, Benny Lichtenwallner. And it's all about sliding into women's DMs using video messages. So it's like a virtual cold approach, and you actually stand out more because most guys are sending text messages. They're not sending videos. They're not sending audio messages and stuff like that. So it actually works pretty well too. So if you you know like the if you like the idea of dating apps because they're convenient and you can do it from home, but you just don't like what dating apps have to offer, I would highly recommend you check out that course and do what's available on Facebook and Instagram, because you have you actually go after the kind of women that you actually want to talk to. It's kind of like Amazon shopping for chicks. Okay. But cold approach, which is what my man originally asked about, cold approach is tried and true method. Okay. Back in my day, young whippersnapper, we didn't have dating apps, and we didn't have Facebook and Instagram and all this cool shit, right? We had cold approach and we had social circle game. That's what we had when I was in high school. Like all my buddies and I on Saturday, we would all pile into one of our cars and go down to the mall and cruise for chicks, right? We'd drive around and there would be cars full of women doing the same thing. And you'd be hollering at these girls and say, hey, meet us over at Funplex and shit. And we'd go and do midnight bowling over at Funplex and try to hit on girls in the next lane. Like that's what we did. Okay. That was just normal. Nowadays, every guy's like scared to fucking cold approach. Okay. But what's cool about cold approach is you get to showcase all of your attractive faculties. Whereas on dating apps, it's all about pictures, and it's very much like advertising. You're everything's about curating the right pictures to tell a specific message to get a girl to meet up with you in person. But when you're a cold approach, you get to showcase your body language, that confidence, just walking up to a chick and boldly, confidently talking to her like you're not rattled. That in itself gives women a tingle. It gives them a little bit of a buzz. They like that. That confidence and boldness gives them the same psychological buzz that men get when we see a great pair of tits. Okay. They're wired for boldness and confidence. So cold approach is one of the few methods that you get to showcase that out the gate. Okay. It shows your sense of humor, assuming you have one. And if you don't have one, I highly recommend you develop one, because that's going to really help you in the cold approach game. Women like funny guys. And she can see what your style looks like, right? She sees what you're working with, your whole body. And if you wear cologne, like she could smell that too. Like all these things create an experience for her that just makes cold approach one of the best ways to meet women and really, I guess create the best image in her mind possible, right? He says, what's frustrating is that I know I'm not a bad looking guy. I've got a decent job, stay in shape, and people tell me I have a good sense of humor. I just can't get past that instant hesitation when I see a woman I'm attracted to. Okay. And this is very common. This is very common for a lot of guys. So if you're in this position, like my man here, I would recommend you slowly build up with some baby steps. Okay. So keep it simple. Remember the 3-second rule. 3-second rule is paramount for all of this. Okay. But I want you to challenge yourself to just walk up and say hi or hello to 5 girls a day for the next 2 weeks. That's all you have to say. You're not trying to get anything out of them. You're not trying to get their number. You just walk up and say hi or hello to 5 girls a day. What this will do, okay, what this will do is show you that these women don't mind being approached. They don't mind being approached. If you walk up to 5 girls a day, I guarantee you on most days, all 5 of them are going to be very friendly and they'll say hi back and even smile at you probably. Okay. You might get one annoying bitch like, well, once every once in a while. But if you just walk up and say hi or hello and nothing else, you're going to find out that most of these women don't mind being approached. Okay. The next thing you're going to do after that 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks after that, I want you to just walk up and either ask them for the time. Okay. So if you normally wear a wristwatch like I do, or you normally have your phone, leave them in your car or something. Okay. Give yourself a plausible reason to be asking for the time. Because when I suggest this, people are like, what won't they say, just what's your phone say? Well, then you just say, I forgot my phone in the car. Right. Like, okay. I'm trying to take every fucking excuse away from you possible. Because that's all it is. It's a fucking excuse not to go talk to girls. Most of you guys out there that are really afraid of talking to girls will come up with a million reasons to not talk to girls because girls are big and scary, right? So leave your phone and your watch in your car, and for the next 2 weeks after that, just walk up and ask 5 girls a day for the time. Or ask them for the directions, right? Like, hey, where's the nearest Starbucks? I'm looking for the nearest Starbucks and I'm lost. Do you know where it is? Right? Just anything like that. That's it for the next 2 weeks. Okay. After that, this is where the hard part comes in. And this is what I had one of my clients do this because he was getting really good at levels 1 and 2 of testing, which we're going to get into. What are the levels 1 and 2 of testing for interest? He was getting really good at levels 1 and 2, but he couldn't get up to level 3. And level 3 is where you require something of them. That's where you're asking for a number. It's where you're asking for a date on the spot, whatever you want to do, right? Well, he would get conversations going and then just fucking leave the conversation, right? And the thing is that women get really frustrated with guys who walk up and start conversations and don't ask them for their number. They get really frustrated with guys like that quit before they stop showing interest, right? And that's what my man was doing. So I had this guy, just to get over that, just to get past his aversion to level 3 testing, I said, just walk up and very mode 1, tell women you think they're cute and ask them for their number. Just skip to level 3 testing. Okay. Cause that's basically mode 1. Mode 1 is direct, confident communication. I just put a video out about this on Saturday, so go check that out. But you walk up and say, I thought you were cute. Give me your number. Okay. Most of these girls are going to not give you their number for that, but it will get you over that anxiety of asking for a number. And so I had my man do that. My coaching client do that for like 2 weeks. Just walk up and ask girls for their number. And he got rejected every single fucking time, but then he wasn't scared of it anymore. And now he's in a really good, healthy relationship, and he's getting his he's banging this chick like every fucking night. It's great. It's great. Took him a long time to get there though, but he's doing really good now. So now that you've gotten rejected, so you've walked up and said hi for 2 weeks, you've walked up and asked for time or directions for 2 weeks, and then you walked up and got rejected for 2 weeks. So now we have 6 weeks of training. You should be feeling pretty good about yourself now to start doing the 3 levels of testing. And that's all cold approach is. It's just a test of interest. She's either interested or she's not. Don't make it complicated. Okay. And that's all we're doing. We're not trying to do anything other than test for interest. So the first test of interest, okay, is start a conversation. That's it. You just walk up and say something, right? So like I said before, a mode 1 way of doing that would be say, hey, I thought you were cute. I wanted to get your number, right? Or, hey, I thought you were cute. I would kick myself if I didn't come over and talk to you. Okay. Something like that. It's very mode 1. You're telling her what your intention is. Okay. A very mode 2 way is what I would prefer to do, which is to just talk about something in your environment, right? Like you're at, let's say you're at the grocery store and you're at the checkout counter and you say, hey, I hear J-Lo and Ben Affleck are about ready to get back together. How long do you think it'll last this time? That's actually true. I saw a news article about that they might actually be getting back together. Which is funny because I learned about the 3 levels of testing from Dr. Robert Glover in his book, and I think it came out in 2012. And he talks about this shit, and he talks about J-Lo and Ben Affleck, and it's funny that they're back in the fucking news again. Anyway, so I thought that would be a good thing. Another thing I heard one time from a guy named Dave Parada was like, let's say you're in the cereal aisle, and you see a girl looking at this different cereal, you just walk up to her and say, well, you can never go wrong with Captain Crunch, right? You just got to say something about the environment. A good thing to do is ask women for their opinion on stuff, right? Let's say you're in the produce section and a woman's looking at cantaloupes, right? Like walk up to a girl and say, hey, I always have a hard time figuring out which ones are the ripe ones. How do you do that? Right? Just say something. That's level 1 testing. You're just seeing if she's going to engage with you in some kind of conversation. That naturally leads you into level 2 testing, which is just banter and chit chat, right? It's just, hey, I haven't seen you around the store very much, right? And you're just having a conversation about God knows what, the fucking weather, what it helps you to keep the conversation upbeat and fun, and don't talk about boring shit like the weather or whatever, but it's banter and chit chat. Usually in level 2 testing is where a girl, if she's not interested in the conversation, she will mention a boyfriend or a husband or something like that. Yeah, my husband's he really loves these things. I always like talking, I always like cooking these things for my husband, right? Oh, okay, very cool. Well, hey, thanks. You've been very helpful. And then fucking see your way out, right? To end it right there. She's not available. But if she doesn't mention a boyfriend or husband while you're in level 2 testing, that's when you want to find a segue to level 3 testing. Now, level 3 testing is where you ask for her number. You require something of her. And like I said before, most guys quit. They quit at level 2 testing. They'll get a conversation going, and then they're too afraid to take it to that next level, which is to ask for a number. Okay. So this is where I recommend not asking for the number, but telling her, hey, give me your number, right? You seem like a really cool chick. We should continue this conversation over drinks sometime. Give me your number, right? And then hand her open up your phone to the contacts and hand her your phone, right? That's a confident, bold way of doing it. Women, when you're assertive like that and you tell them what to do, it's part of the 3 T's, tease, touch, and tell. You tell her to give you your number. It's a bold move. You're going to get more numbers by doing that. Okay. But that's it. Don't make it complicated. It's all just one big test of interest, right? You're testing level 1. Will she even have a conversation with you or not? Right. If you go up and you say the Ben Affleck thing and she rolls her eyes and ignores you and turns around, she's not interested. Okay. That's not on you. That's on her. Right. So don't worry about it. Now, she's not interested, and you can move along and you can go and talk to some other women, right? It's not a big deal. And don't take all this shit personally. None of it's personal. Okay. So, and that's the big thing. A lot of you guys are it's not necessarily you're afraid of the approach. You're afraid of the rejection. And once you go and do the baby steps and all that kind of stuff and actually actively try to get rejected, you'll find out that getting rejected doesn't really hurt that much. In fact, it doesn't hurt at all. Right. And if you have the mindset of it's her loss, right? Well, it's her loss. She didn't get all this. That's on her. Okay. Like have that mentality and you'll be less worried about what she's thinking about you in the moment, and you're going to be more confident with it. Okay. He says, I've watched your videos where you explain that thinking causes anxiety, but action cures it. I know that's true, but when I see a woman I'm interested in, my mind still takes over and freezes me in place. How do I finally break that loop and take action before I talk myself out of it? Well, guys in this position, I would recommend the baby steps. Okay. That will best help you get over that overthinking and anxiety problem. The overthinking is what's causing the approach anxiety, which is why the 3-second rule and baby steps will help you overcome it, right? The 3-second rule will keep you from thinking about this stuff because it forces you into action. Okay. So that's why the 3-second rule is even there. It's to push past that anxiety because action cures it. Okay. And then you won't be stuck in the, the hamster wheel of overthinking. Okay. Just 3-second rule. Just 1, 2, fuck it. Say something. Just blurt something out. Okay. There's almost nothing you can say that's wrong. Okay. Just blurt something out. All right. What do the guys in the chat say here? Oh, hey, we got a super chat. We've got Jerry's in the house. What's up? Omega says mail call. No edging today. John, why are you so interested in me edging? Oh, edging the algorithm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We love edging the algorithm. What if I identify as a bear? That sounds gay. That sounds gay, bro. Oh, okay. You've lost too much weight to qualify as a bear. Yes, that's true. Omega's lost a shitload of weight, guys. In Wolfpack. He's a Wolfpack brother. Erkin's in the house. What's up, Erkin? Omega sent a basically $10 super chat. He says, epic cussing early for the demonetization. Let's go. Woke Google won't let me type bad words. Lame. Yeah, woke Google. Fuck them. And now I'm demonetized. I'm going to give you this one right here.
Walk into the club like, what up? I got a big cock.
That's how he walks into clubs. He's like, hey, what up? I got a big cock. Oh man, what do we got here? We've got, let's see, he qualifies as a wolf. Yes. Sounds like this emailer needs Paul's dating course. Everybody needs my dating course. Okay. Unless the married guys need the dread course. Saying hi to 5 girls work in the US or everywhere. Erkin, yes, everywhere. Works anywhere there's women. It'll work everywhere. Let's see here. Okay, these guys are having a side conversation. Let's see here. Ben never gets red pill. You're talking about Ben Affleck. I know, man. He just keeps getting recycling the X's. Just recycling the X's. Like, just bro, stop. Sometimes I wonder if Paul demonetizes himself on purpose. No, it's just that I'm a sailor. And so I like to use bad words. All right. That's all I got, guys. Oh, hey, Pete's in the house. Hey, what's up, Pete? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. All right. That's all we got, guys, right? So you have your 3-second rule and you have your 3 levels of testing, and we have the baby steps I want you to work on. So go practice the baby steps, practice that 3-second rule. You need to push past that approach anxiety, then worry about the level 1, 2, and 3 testing. Okay. All right, brother. All right. That's all we got, guys. Tune in to the stream tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We will be talking about why status alone won't keep women around in the long term. So you guys could finally quit complaining about how if Tom Brady couldn't keep Giselle, what chance have I got? Right. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why guys like Tom Brady, arguably, alpha male, Adonises, why they can't keep women like Giselle around. Okay. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And we're going to talk about why status alone is bullshit. It's bullshit, guys. Other than that, hold on. Okay. Other than that, we will see you guys on the live stream tomorrow.
Got a letter from a man in deep. Said his house ain't a home and he's losing sleep. Wife cold as steel, vibe off track. Asked me how the hell to get his edge back.